Hey guys, Coach Kevin here. I want to do a couple of videos to try to help everybody out a little bit. Not only my team, but for other coaches out there that struggle with trying to get defensive positioning done at practice. As you all know, we only have your players for a couple hours a week, 3, maybe 4 hours at max. And there's so much to go over during the course of a practice that we just can't cover everything that we would like to before our first game start. Doesn't matter how many practices we have, there's always more that us as coaches want to be able to teach your players to do. So I figured I would go over create a couple of videos for you all that you can watch at home, watch with your players, quiz them, have them quiz you, and just go over some basic fundamental type of things, especially for our younger players. We stress time and time again that on every given pitch, everybody has a job to do, no matter if the ball's hit to them or not. So hopefully you'll find these videos useful and a good training aid, so when we get out on the field, we're ready to execute, and the more that we execute at practice, the more prepared we're going to be when we get to tournaments. So the situation I'm going to go over today with you all is base is empty, so we have no runners on first, second, or third, and a base hit to the outfield. I'm going to go over a few scenarios with you guys. Hopefully you'll find some value in these, and it'll help us out as teams as well. So our first situation is, again, nobody on base. Pitcher throws the ball. It's hit to left field. All right, what takes place now? All right, obviously our left fielder is going to turn and go and field that ball. I get 8 other players on the field. They all have jobs to do, but what are they? Let's go over that here real quick. First, starting with my center fielder. His primary job on a ball hit to his left or his right is to back that player up if he's not going to be the one to field it. So in this situation, he's going to run as hard as he can over to left field to back up that left fielder in case he misplays that ball or it gets by him. Maybe he can get to that ball quicker than the left fielder can, because as soon as this guy hits that ball, he turns into a runner, and we want to stop him at first base. We do not want to let him get to second base, because now he's in scoring position and he can probably score on another base hit. All right, so center fielder's running over to back up my left fielder. What's everybody else going to do? My right fielder, he's going to charge in here towards second base and hang out right off of the infield grass. Why? I'll go over that in just a second. My third baseman, he's going to come over here and cover third base. First baseman, he's going to kind of hang out back here behind first base, but not too far away from the bag, because if this runner goes around the bag too aggressively, we want him to be in a position where he can come over and possibly have that ball thrown behind that runner and tag him out. So he's going to hang out just back here behind first base. All right. Now we got a few other players. Pitcher, he's going to come off the back of the mound towards the first base side. Now the 2 keys in this situation, my shortstop and my second baseman. And why I say that they're the keys is I stress this time and time again in practice, and it just doesn't seem like it sinks in very rapidly. So this is something that we need to have repetition in, something that we need to get these 2 to be side by side, hip to hip, and be able to execute plays without even knowing that they're doing it. So as soon as that ball's hit the left field, my shortstop's going to turn and he's going to run out towards here to be a cutoff man. Depending on how strong of an arm that left fielder has, center fielder, right fielder, whoever the ball's hit to, depends on how far out my cutoff man's going to go. So in this situation, just a rule of thumb, we're going to say about halfway to the ball. My second baseman is going to be running over here to cover second base. In case this guy decides to try to get to second base, we have that base covered. My shortstop's going to get into a position where he can catch the ball and throw. But how is he to get into that position? When he turns and runs, what does he have now? He has his back to the field, so he cannot see where second base is. The older players get, the more repetitions they have, the more comfortability they get on the field. They're going to know whereabouts they are on the field. But we want to distill in them at a young age that they need to be communicating. So my second baseman comes over to second base, and he's yelling to my shortstop, right, 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 until he's in a straight line between the bag and the ball. If he goes too far, left one, two. As soon as he's where he is, he yells, freeze, stop, hold, any key word that's going to make this guy stop and create that throwing lane to the bag. He's now going to turn, get himself in a good throwing position, so when that ball comes in, he can catch it and relay it into my second baseman. So why is my right fielder back here? What if that ball sails over his head? The right fielder's there to field it. What if that ball's thrown in the dirt, gets by my second baseman? My right fielder's there to field it. Or my first baseman can be helping out there. Or if it kicks towards the infield, my pitcher's there, and we're keeping this runner at first base. My catcher, he's the only one we haven't talked about. He's coming out in front of the plate and surveying the play. He's our quarterback on the field. He's the only one at the start of the play who's seeing the entire field. That ball's hit out here to left field. All my other guys are concentrating on that ball. My catcher needs to be watching where this runner's going and where the play is developing and communicating to the rest of the team where to throw the ball. So in this situation, he's yelling, two, 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 two. Boom, boom, boom. That runner stays at first base. All right, so that's our situation with nobody on base, a base hit to left field. Let's reset our players real quick, get them back into their positions. All right. Next situation is going to be a base hit to center field. Now this is a little bit different, okay? That ball's hit up the middle. I get two guys up the middle, so we need to determine who's going to get that. But before we do that, what are my corner outfielders going to do? My left fielder and my right fielder. They're going to head towards center field to back up that center fielder in case the ball gets by him or he misplays it. They're there to back him up. So they're running as hard as they can to get over there to help that guy out. First baseman. This time he's going to come in towards the cutout of the infield so that he's there to back up the second baseman or shortstop, whoever's covering the bag. Third baseman comes around at third base again. Pitcher turns around, gets himself in a straight line to the ball through the bag. In this situation, the ball's hit to the left side of second base. So 9 times out of 10, your shortstop's going to be the one going out to take the cutoff on that. Second baseman comes over to cover second. Same situation. Right, 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 right. Freeze! All right, gets himself in a good throwing position. Ball comes to shortstop into the second baseman. We hold this runner at first base. Catcher, same thing, coming out, surveying the field, communicating with the players. Two, 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 two. He's talking loudly so everybody can hear. So that's our play with the ball hit to the left side of the second base bag. The ball's hit to the right side, exact same thing, except for my second baseman's going out to be the cutoff, shortstop's covering the bag, and he's directing traffic here. Left, 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 freeze. Right one, getting him in a line. Second baseman gets into a good throwing position, receives the ball, throws it into the shortstop covering second base. Everybody else is backing up just like they were before. All right, reset real quick. Now, the tricky part with a ball to center field. What if that ball is hit directly over the bag? All right. This is going to be sometimes a coach's decision, and he'll talk to his infielders before a game, letting him know who he wants to cover with a ball hit over the bag. In my experience, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be the shortstop going out for the cutoff, second baseman's covering the bag. All right, so ball right over, but they need to communicate. Second baseman's yelling, you got cut, I got bag, I got bag. Everybody else is getting into their backup situations. Left fielder, right fielder, cutoff man, second base, third base, backing up the play, surveying the field. Look at this nice straight line I have of players in case there's an overthrow into second base. Everything is covered here in the infield. So if that ball that player doesn't make an accurate throw to second, I have all these guys there to help him out. Every play, they're moving. All right, let's reset again here real quick. Last scenario here that we're going to go over in this video. Nobody on again. Base hit to right field. All right. Basically the exact same thing as left field, just a mirror of it. Right fielder's fielding the ball. Center fielder's backing up. Left fielder's coming towards the infield grass. Why? In case there's an overthrow at second, he's there to back up. Second baseman's going out to be the cutoff man. Shortstop's directing him. Left, left, left. Right, right, one. Freeze. Throw in position. Third base covering third. First base in towards that infield cutout. Now this time my pitcher's going to come to the third base side of the pitcher's mound, and my catcher's coming out surveying the field. Look at this. I get all these guys right here to back up that play in case there's a bad throw into the infield. So that's kind of our quick situation with nobody on base and a base hit to the outfield. Again, these two guys have to be best friends on the baseball field. They have to talk, they got to communicate, let each other know who's taking the cut, who's covering the bag, which direction to go, and when they're in that nice straight line between the ball and the bag. That is very, very important. I cannot stress that enough. So that's something that coaches practice over and over again, is infield communication, so that we can get that ball back in and keep this guy from getting into scoring position. Hopefully this video helps you guys out with learning a little bit of defensive strategy. Like I said, I'll try to do a few more of these to help people out. Watch them at home until it's ingrained into our heads, so that way when we get out on the field and the situation arises, it's automatic. The players move to where they need to be.